My friends, welcome back to the second annual Midnight Suns Awards, and now we are going to go through my favorite games of the year. And without further ado, let's get on with the awards. So first we have the best action game of the year, and I'm giving the award to Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I know the story this time around, to many people, myself included, maybe wasn't as great as the first game. But you know what, I still really like the story overall, and the combat in this game is unmatched. I think this has the best Star Wars lightsaber combat in any game ever, like it really improves on even the first game. So yeah, if you really want to know what it feels like to be a Jedi, play this game. And next we have the role-playing game of the year. So the best RPG I played this year has to be Diablo 4. So special shout out to Blizzard Southeast Asia who sent me a review copy of this game. I've never played any Diablo game before this, and playing this game was really my first introduction to Diablo. And let me just say, even if you've never played any of the previous games, you can just jump straight into this one. That's what I did, and I didn't feel lost in the story at all. The combat in this game is really great. It's a top-down action RPG. And surprisingly enough, I actually found myself playing this game with a controller even on PC, because the control support is really fantastic in this game. And I know there's a lot of controversy around like the whole monetization with like the seasons and all that, but honestly, if you play this game, just play through the main campaign and maybe do some side quests. It can easily last you around 20 to 40 hours just doing that. And I think it's really worth it just to play the main campaign alone. And if you really love the game that much, then you can go and continue doing all the grinding for the endgame stuff and the season passes and all that. But even for just the main story alone, I think this game is worth it. So yeah, I really love Diablo 4, and when Diablo 5 comes out, I'll definitely buy that. I am now a Diablo fan thanks to this game. And for the horror game of the year, I'm giving it to Resident Evil 4. So this is a full-on remake, and it is surprisingly great. You know, sometimes when games get remade, like people don't really like it as much as the original. But I think Capcom has really been hitting it out of the park with all the Resident Evil remakes. And even people I know who love the original Resident Evil 4, they are saying that this remake is really great and even better than the original game in many ways. Plus, there's an exclusive VR version of this game on the PSVR 2. So yeah, what more can I say? If you're a PlayStation 5 owner and you have the PSVR 2, what are you waiting for? Go and get this game. You can thank me for all the great nightmares you'll have playing it. And alright, next we have the strategy game of the year, and I'm giving it to Marvel Snap. Now, this game has one big problem. It is too addicting. It is a mobile game, but there's also a PC Steam version. So I only played this game for 2 months in like April and May, and for a very good reason. Because in the 2 months that I played it, I already clocked in like almost 200 hours. It was crazy. This is easily one of the best video game card games that I've ever played in my entire life. And bear in mind, this is coming from somebody who has won multiple card game, video game world championships. I actually climbed to the highest tier of the competitive mode in just a few weeks after I started playing this game. And let me tell you, this game is completely not pay to win at all. Like a lot of the stuff you can pay for are just like cosmetics. Like different art variants of cards that you can get for free. So yeah, it's really just completely cosmetic. It's not pay to win at all. And yeah, I climbed to the top rank without even spending a single cent on this game. However, the amount of time I spent on this game is worth a ton of money, and I will never get that time back, but I really love this game so much. But I had to tell myself to stop playing this game because it is really just taking up my entire life. So yeah, as much as I really love this game, unfortunately with all these mobile games, you know, there's like the daily missions and all that. Yeah, the gameplay in this game is great, but the addiction is not. But yeah, if you want something to really sink your life into, check out Marvel Snap. And for the puzzle game of the year, I'm giving the award to We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Revelry. So I am a massive fan of the Katamari Damacy franchise, and there's just a sense of humor in this game that is really just unmatched. The gameplay is also really simple but fun and addicting. Like the goal of the whole game is to just take this Katamari, this ball, and keep rolling things up and grow larger and larger so that you can roll even more things up. So it's really like a physics-based puzzle game. And it really is a very zen game. It's a kind of game that you really just want to play after a long day at work to just unwind. And there really aren't many games like that. And yeah, I really love this game so much. The whole franchise, the whole Katamari Damacy franchise has become such a huge part of my life. Like whenever a new game is released, I'll just play it for months and months and months. And yeah, this game is great. I'm still playing it right now. In fact, hold on, let me show you. I even just bought it on the PlayStation 4 so I can replay it on the PlayStation 4. This game is really amazing, guys. Go and check it out. And next we have the racing game of the year, and I'm giving the award to Gran Turismo 7 for the PSVR 2. So I know Gran Turismo 7 technically came out last year, but the PSVR 2 version came out this year. And let me just say, the PSVR 2 version of this game is easily the best VR racing game I've ever played. So earlier this year, there was the Gran Turismo premiere, the Grand Premiere here in Singapore, and they brought the full-on cockpit for the Gran Turismo 7 PSVR 2 setup. And yeah, trying the game out there was really fantastic. The VR version of this game is just jaw-droppingly realistic and gorgeous. If you want to know what it feels like to be a race car driver, I think you must try out the VR version of this game. It's really unmatched. And for the sports game of the year, I'm giving it to WWE 2K23. So what can I say? I loved WWE 2K22, and 2K23 is just a small upgrade to that. And you know what? Because 2K22 last year was a huge revamp from the previous WWE games, I'm gonna give them a pass with 2K23, and I still really enjoyed it because everything still feels very fresh and new to me. But next year for 2K24, I really hope WWE makes even bigger changes. And for the fighting game of the year, I'm giving the award to Mortal Kombat 1. So, there is Homelander and Peacemaker and Omni-Man in a single game. What more can I say? Now, I suck at this game, honestly. Like, I'm actually really quite bad at fighting games apart from a few like Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, when it comes to 2D fighting games, I'm really quite bad. But even though I suck at this game, I still really love all the characters in this game. Like all the fatalities and all the movesets, everything is really well thought out. And yeah, I really like that when they brought like characters like Omni-Man from Invincible into this game. They actually took all his fatalities from scenes in the show and brought it into this game, and recreated them for Mortal Kombat 1. So yeah, you can tell developers really love the source material that they took from. And even though the game is filled with violence, you can also really feel the love and passion that went into making this game. And for the shooter game of the year, I'm giving the award to Metroid Prime Remastered. So I know people might say, how can you put a remastered game in this list? Well, let me explain. Even though this game is remastered, it's actually a full-on remake. I don't even know why Nintendo calls it a remaster. They should have just called it Metroid Prime Remake. But yeah, they really rebuilt this game from scratch. All the models, environments, everything have all been recreated in full HD, and the gameplay itself is so much more fluid now with like the dual stick controls and all that. And yeah, this single game, Metroid Prime Remastered, is easily the best Nintendo first-party shooter that they've ever put out. I know a lot of FPS players will just skip this game because it's on the Nintendo Switch, but trust me, this is truly, to me, the best new FPS game I've played the entire year. And for the open world game of the year, I'm giving it to Spider-Man 2. So I didn't like this game as much as the first Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. I really thought that one had a much better story than this game. But you know what? Even though I like that one more, that doesn't mean this game is bad. In fact, I still think that this game is fantastic on its own. The gameplay from start to end is fantastic, and I really just love the Venom symbiote. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future of this franchise, and let's hope we get a great Venom game sometime. And for the PvE co-op game of the year, I'm giving the award to Starship Troopers Extermination. So let me just say, I am a huge fan of the original Starship Troopers movie, and playing this game really makes you feel like you are in that movie. You and your squad of like a dozen marines, you go against like this endless army of bugs that just come swarming towards you, and you have to build, fortify and arm your bases in order to combat these bugs. And the gameplay is so fun and exhilarating. If you play it with friends, you're gonna have a heck of a great time. You know those moments, especially like towards the end of the mission when you are trying to wait for the dropship to extract you, and then the bugs just start swarming all over you and you're trying to rush into the dropship? Those moments are what makes this game so fantastic. And alright, for the PvP multiplayer game of the year, I'm giving the award to Exoprimer. So I know many of you have never even heard of this game, but just think of it as like Gundam plus Overwatch plus Dino Crisis plus Left 4 Dead. Yeah, you know, you take all the genres of those games and the gameplay mechanics of those games and you just merge everything together and you get this game, Exoprimer. So you play as these warriors in like armored mech suits, and they fight against hordes of dinosaurs as well as other players. So it's like a PvP game that also has elements of PvE in it. And yeah, this game is really wacky, but you know what? It is really fun. There are a bunch of different characters for you to choose from, so it's really like Overwatch. It's kind of like a hero shooter, and all of the different heroes all have different movesets, and they play very differently. Like there's clearly like the tank DPS support. So yeah, if you like hero shooters, I think you'll really enjoy this game. And you know what? Whoever gets tired of fighting dinosaurs? And for the narrative game of the year, I'm giving it to Tron Identity. So I know I'm very biased, but I really love the world of Tron, and Tron Identity is easily the best new installment of Tron we've had in years. Although that's because there haven't been any installments of Tron in the past few years. But yeah, I really love the story in this game. It's kind of like a visual novel. Yeah, it is a visual novel. So yeah, there isn't much action in this game at all, but if you really just want a good story, something to read through for a few hours and really enjoy and just chill, then this is the game for you. Speaking of which, this game also wins the award for Indie Game of the Year. So even though Tron is a Disney franchise, this game was actually licensed to a very small game studio, Bethel Games. So yeah, they're really just a very small indie game studio that worked on this game. But you know what? This game is so fantastic that I would have never known that this game wasn't made by Disney themselves if I didn't go and search it up. So yeah, best indie game of the year for sure. And now for the best game of the year, the award goes to We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. So like I mentioned earlier, the Katamari Damacy franchise is really very special to me. And I think that Bandai Namco really put so much love into this remake, this We Love Katamari remake. And it is now quite possibly my favorite Katamari game of all time, and that's saying a lot. I think for a game that you just want to chill to and just have fun with a little bit of challenge so that it's not so boring, I think this game is perfect. And yeah, that's why We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie is gonna be my favorite game of the year. And that's all for this list, guys. Do stay tuned for my favorite TV shows of the year if you are interested in that. The Midnight Suns Awards will continue shortly. Or maybe in a couple of days. I'm not sure how long it'll take for me to edit all of this. But yeah, what are your favorite games of the year? Please go down to the comments below and let me know. And stay tuned for the continuation of the Midnight Suns Awards. Thanks again for watching, everybody. And as always, stay gold. Bye guys.